What is up, guys? I'm back yet again with another one. Today, I'll be sharing with you a live session with one of my students. Before we proceed, after a lot of requests from many of you, I've decided to open an Instagram account which will strictly be educational. See the handle to that Instagram account in the description of this video.
All right, thanks, boss.
Okay, so today I want us to discuss in detail 2 or 3 charts. Okay, we're just going to look at 2 or 3 charts together in detail. And we're going to see what we can do in terms of how we approach these charts. Okay, so in front of me, right now we have the step index. So Damola, what I want you to do each time you open your chart, just go to the highest time frame. Start there. Okay, start there. You see, these time frames are there for a reason. You know, it's not for you to just say, oh, you know what, it doesn't matter. I only focus on this time frame. You know, you need to get to a stage whereby you use each and every tool that is in front of you just so that you can make a better decision. Okay. So if you have a higher time frame there, make sure you're on the highest as we do our top-down analysis. So now, as a top-down analysis, remember this is an interactive session, so we're discussing together. Right. What would you say is going on here on the monthly time frame?
This is a downtrend, basically.
Perfect, right? So this is a downtrend. Okay. And we naturally, organically have said that in a downtrend, we have the market forming lower highs and lower lows, just like that, right? And we have said that each time we are presented with this market structure, that means we want to sell the market. But where we sell matters. We said that we want to sell at these premium prices, okay? Like that.
Yep.
And these premium prices are what we call highs. That's where we start looking for sell positions. So now, a thing that confuses many people is they don't really know what a high is, so or a low. Okay, so right now we're dealing with a downtrend, so let's deal with what a high is. So a high literally is, you can see prices going up over here, right? And then all of a sudden it stops there, and then it moves away significantly like that. So you need to understand what happened over there is that there was actually some buyers in this market, but it got to a specific price level where there was sell interest at that price level. Are we together? So now, because of the sell interest at this price level, price literally did a U-turn. Are we together? Price did a U-turn. So now, what causes that U-turn right here is that there's an excess of supply over here, right? This excess of supply is what then initiated the move down. So there was more supply here than demand. So in terms of this monthly chart, if we were to find those highs, we're saying if price is to go back in that high area, right? Like this, because trading is a game of using the past to predict the future, we should still have more supply here to keep pushing the market down. Are we together? You understand?
Yep.
Cool. So that's what a high is. So so now understand that a high or a low point, we want a significant move away from that area. Okay, so on this chart here, let's look at the highs together. And then we also want to make sure we understand what is not a high, because that's also something that confuses a lot of people. Are we together? So over here, for 2 months, price went up and then it stopped here. Are we together? Right, at this price. From this price level, it never returned there. In fact, it moved significantly away like that. Can you see that? This is a significant movement here. So what does that tell us about that high point? There was a lot of sell interest. You understand? The sell interest was initiated here, such that if price is to come back into this region, you know, you're almost somewhat sure that there will still be some sell interest in there to push the market down. Are we together? But now, what happened is price came and then even formed a lower high here, right? So this is a downtrend because we form lower highs and lower lows as we have discussed. So this is a lower high. Why is this a lower high? Understand what happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? Price was going up for 4 months, right? Can you see this over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Price attempted to break this high, but it failed, okay? It literally failed to break it because there was some supply there that was not allowing the market to go above that zone. Are we together? And so now, from there, the market then moved significantly away, right? So it's the significant movement away from a price point that makes us sure that it's actually a high. Are we together? All right. Okay. Also over here. So now the question becomes, where people usually get confused now is this a high point here? right? Let's just do this. Would you call this a high? Not really, to be honest with you, because we moved and then we paused and all that stuff. But this is definitely a high here because 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 months, we are struggling. It's actually a consolidation here. There's a lock between supply and demand. But funny enough, the result after that lock is that the market then moved down like that. So an excess of supply was experienced from this price point. You see what I'm saying? So that's what makes this high that we want to focus on. Are we together? Cool.
Yes.
So now, in terms of market structure for the monthly time frame, we're in a downtrend, and this is the high that we care about. Are we together? You see what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
The monthly time. If prices to come in here, we really, for the long-term perspective, want to look for sells, and then we push the market down. Okay, it needs to get in there. And I've told you that at those highs, we look at the order block, right? So this is an order block at that high. Can you see this? This is the zone that we want to care about. And we already see this from the higher time frames. Okay, so now let's make it neat. All right, let's do this now. Let's delete everything. And we make everything neat. And we say to ourselves, this is our key point of interest to sell on the monthly time frame. Are we together? Are you holding on? You see what I'm?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Cool. So can you see we haven't even gone down? We're still on that monthly to show you how you need to start really viewing these things. Not about rushing. Okay, you want to make your story. So now we go to the weekly time frame. Now, can you see that on the weekly time frame? Once again, it is definitely a downtrend. Okay, this is all a downtrend now. But now assess what's going on. What's going on is that, firstly, we want price to get here because from the monthly perspective, we have looked and we said preferably when we get to this gray zone, that's where we want to look for long-term sell positions. You see what I'm saying? So right now, what's happening is that, price is reacting to this weekly selling order block here. And guess what? It's actually going down. You understand? It's okay. It's allowed to do that. But the question is, if you press sell now, do you think this will be a sell move that will be a long-term one, considering what we've just discussed on the monthly time frame?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so too. In fact, what I can assume is going to happen is prices retracing and then probably come to somewhere around here, right? And then still continue up so that we can nicely get in here. You understand? Because price moves in waves. It doesn't just form a straight line. No, it moves in waves. Like that's what makes it a bit challenging. If it was a straight line, everyone would be a billionaire. You know what to do. But these waves is what gets many people in trouble. So now for the weekly time frame, it's important for us to assess what's going on. So price was going down like this in a downtrend, right? And guess what? The trend line broke, right? And it's fine. It's okay. Many people start looking for buy positions there or whatever, but assess what happened here in terms of market structure, right? For the weekly time frame, right? Let's do this. Let's nicely assess. Remember, a high is a significant point. So for the weekly time frame, we're going up for all those weeks, and then boom, you see that it moved away significantly, right? And then it came all the way into here. We tried going up again, and then significantly, boom. You see what I'm saying? So ever since this significant movement away, we haven't had a significant movement away. This is why from here, this would have been a nice trade for you to look for. Can you see what I'm saying to you? Because
I said that
other people will be focusing on this high maybe. I don't know what my gray zone is doing. Just give me a second. Let me see what's happening. It's okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Give me a... It's being very fun, yes? But anyways, so this is that high. Significant movement away shows that for all these weeks, price tried to go up, but at this price point here, the sellers came in, okay? Let's do this. At this price point here, the sellers came in. Now, trading is a game of using the past to predict the future. And if they could come in like that, here, surely we should still have sellers. So this is why if you waited there, you would be in profits. But now, let's not forget what we said on the monthly. Okay, on the monthly, we said we're expecting one more push. And that could be collaborated by what we're seeing now, right? So look at it this way. Market structure was broken over here. Do you agree with me? Right? Look at it this way. We've been forming lower highs and lower lows, and then finally, boom, like that. Can you see? Now, let's just say
Yes.
this is a high over here. Okay, can you see this is a high? If you can't see that this is a
Yes.
high, you go to the line graph. I'll show you. On the line graph, you can clearly see that this is a high. You see, price
Yeah,
came,
it is.
failed to break, came here, failed to break, and then it finally broke. So now, what is the definition of an uptrend? Remember, an uptrend, we have said, it is when we have higher highs and higher lows. This is a high, right? And this is a higher high that was.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is a low over here, right? And this is a higher low.
Yes. And that's higher low.
Right? So now price is coming. We're
Yes.
expecting maybe a higher low somewhere here so that we can at least what? Continue with that movement. And then at least we get to that monthly zone. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what does
I understand perfectly.
Now, what that means is we want to make this here our key point of interest to buy. Can you see this buying order block at the low? It only makes sense. You see now. So now it becomes a game of patience. I just don't know why my zone is drawing over my candles. It's never happened before. I don't know why MetaTrader is doing this. I don't like it. Just give me a second while I try. Okay, cool. It's fixed. You see this?
Yes.
Now, this is the key point of interest because in terms of market structure, something's weird here. It's not even allowing me to. Yeah. Something is very strange. Okay, just give me a second.
Okay.
All right. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyways, so this is what we want to wait for. We want to see how price behaves when it actually comes to this low here. And we are saying we want price to then go up. So now, because it's trading, there's a possibility that it might break this low and still continue down. It happens all the time. The issue is it's all about risk management. How price behaves in here, we need to see. So this is the weekly time frame, right? So now, let's go to the daily time frame. Okay? We're going to the daily time frame, and this is what we have. So we have come to the conclusion that we want to come into this zone, right? Even if we look at that weekly momentum, it's highly likely that we'll get in there. You see what I'm saying? Right?
Yes.
So now, on the daily, this is what we have, right? We could say that we have this, we could make it neater. You see, we could say, okay, we want price to get in all the way here. But now, the question is, we can't just wait for price to get all the way here when we can see that on the daily, we're in a downtrend here. This is a downtrend, right? Okay, so in a downtrend, you look for sell positions. Now, this is the whole thing about power of going down to the lower time frames. If we go to the H4, I know you've been part of the analysis hub, so you know imbalances, right?
Yes.
Right. I could just, before I go down to the lower time frames, I could place this line here because this is an imbalance. Would you agree with me if I said this is an imbalance here? I'll explain to you why. Look, can you see opposing candle and then impulsive move like that? The candle.
Yes, I see that. I see that. The green one.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. So it's an imbalance. So now we're still on the daily and we're saying we want to go down. So now let's go to the H4 and see what's there. Now you see now. On the H4, this is all a downtrend like this. And we want to sell. But where do we sell is the question. I would want to place my sell positions near this imbalance. Yeah. And also there's this bearish engulfing candle. Can you see now? Right?
I see that.
So now, if price is to come back in here, I'll start pumping sells. That's how you do a top-down analysis. You see that? It's a process of understanding how we're coming from the higher time frames. So now, this is going to help you avoid placing, weird positions because you might want to buy and thinking that the market is going up. They never do that, bro. You wait for price to get in here. And in terms of the H4, it's fine because right now we're definitely in a downtrend. This is a definite area whereby it's a high. Why am I saying it's a high? Let's assess what happened. Remember, a significant movement from an area, right? Look at here.
Yes.
This was a consolidative state. Are we agreeing? Price was failing to break this consolidative state here, right?
Yes.
And then for that consolidated state to break like that, what do you think happened? There was an excess supply there. You understand? So if we were to come back here in that area where that excess of supply was created, we are likely to get a down movement because trading is a game of using the past to try to predict the future. If there was an excess of supply in here, we should be able to get it again and we go down. Okay. So this is actually a setup that I don't mind sending to the trade alerts and setups right now as we speak, and say, this is when after I've done a top-down analysis like that, this is when I now come through and I send it to you guys and I say, let's look out for this zone here. And then I'll mark it and say bearish engulfing candle. And then I come and then I put my arrow here, right? See what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yep.
That is the setup for step index. Simple as that. Okay. There's nothing complicated about that. So that's what we do when it comes to top-down analysis. So now let's look at another one. I hope you're understanding this. Even if you don't.
Yes, I'm understanding. I am understanding. I'm
Right.
understanding properly.
When you watch it, it will start making more sense. It's all about practice in the end of the day. Okay. Now, let's look at volatility 10. Once again, let's start on that monthly time frame. Let's help each other. What's happening here on the monthly time frame?
It's still a downtrend.
Again, you see, it's a downtrending market. So we need to find areas where its price made a high and it significantly moved away. Okay, so over here, we can say, right, this is the monthly time frame. Price went up like that for that 1 month, and then it significantly moved away like this. You see that, right?
Yes.
So this is definitely a high point. I would say this is also a lower high because price went up, tried to significantly move, it failed to significantly move. It went up, and then it finally made that significant movement from this high. Can you see that? This is the high where that significant movement came from. So guess what? This is the high that we care about. Now, we keep going down over here. Price came up, and then it tried to do a significant movement. This is not a significant movement. Can you see this? It's not a nice movement for you to say we are going to make that a high. However, over here, when it went up, this was a significant movement. Can you see that?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You see why the high and the low, the significant movement away from what you're trying to call a high or a low matters. You see what I'm saying? Because it shows you the level of interest in terms of supply or demand that was incurred. So over here, we try to go up and then boom, 1, 2, 3 months, significant movement away. Now, because that significant movement was originated from somewhere in here, there was a lot of supply that pushed the market to do that. We want to be interested in here. So all of this that's happening here when price came back is a false breakout of this high. If you placed your sell trades, you'd be in profit right now. You understand what I'm saying? So now there's one of two things that could be happening over here. We could call it a false breakout, but I don't really think so. Because now look, if we use the line graph, you see that actually the price closed above this high. See what I'm saying? So market structure has actually been breached. This was a lower high, definitely, because we had the significant movement. But now look, it came back and it broke this. So this is a higher high now. Do you see what I'm saying? So now, can you see that price is trying to have a significant movement away from here, but it's failing because market structure is broken. So now, in my opinion, this is where I start thinking we're now about to form a uptrend. How will it be an uptrend? This would be a high here, right? And this would be a low, right?
Yes.
So if we can retrace into here like that, we are expecting a higher high, then higher low, higher high, right? Higher low, like that. Can you see that? Market structure would have changed. Are we together? So another reason why I want to say that this is because now we broke this high here. We're expecting a higher low, but look at another pattern that would be forming, a reversal pattern, a head and shoulder pattern. Left shoulder over here, right? Head over here. And that right shoulder is near that higher low we're expecting. Can you see how things are lining up? See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So now, in my opinion, I would want price to come back for the long-term buys. If price can nicely come in here, somewhere around here, start looking for long-term buy positions, because this is what I'm now expecting. Okay, so now we have discussed that we want price to come down a bit. So now let's go to the weekly time frame and assess what's happening. So on the weekly time frame, we had that impulsive movement like that. I don't know if you know about the Fibonacci, but usually what happens is the 61.8 is a really golden zone, right? So we haven't even reached that on the Fibonacci, but I don't want to focus too much on that. If we are saying we want price to come into here, we need to understand that that movement needs to come from an level of supply. So on this chart here, can you see that at this high here, there was a significant movement away? Can you see that for all these weeks, that move was originated where? Here. If we were to use a pen, you'll notice that this was a consolidated state for all these weeks here. Can you see that? Are we together? Here.
Yeah.
Consolidating for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. And then from nowhere, boom, a significant move. That's why, for me, I want to care. Or should I say, I'm going to delete everything now. Let's do this. Let's delete every single thing. Okay. And I want to care now because that significant movement was originated from here. And we're about to get there. Now, another thing that makes this significant movement, this area of this significant movement nice is that, can you see that there's also a level of resistance over here? Can you see this?
Yep.
If we go to the daily time frame, what is this? This is a resistance. Can you see?
Wow.
So
wow.
What do you think happens when resistance breaks? They're saying, wow, huh? It's beautiful, huh?
Yeah. I'm enjoying this. That's why I'm saying wow.
Right. What do you think happens when resistance breaks, Damola? When resistance breaks, you get many people buying the market there, right? They start pressing buy here. And worse, some people will wait for the retest and even press more buys. But you, Damola, because you understand what we call market structure and how to trade like a professional, right? You will actually be marking this zone here and you want to start looking for sell positions there. We can go back to that weekly time frame. It's definitely there where we want to look for sell positions. Okay. Zoom in like that. Yes. Want to look for sells there because we're approaching that high where we had that significant move away from. You understand? Just clear market structure. If you want to act like someone who does not know how to trade, this is when you can even do this. See, right? Now, all these things are lying. Maybe you have your little trend line there, but we don't, that's not the reason why we take trades. Okay. Yes, we can use it to just say, okay, fine, there's an added reason. But for us, we understand liquidation and market structure. So what I'm saying is, if we can get into here, tap into here, that's when I want to look for sell positions. Okay. So now, let's go to the daily again and assess. So now that we're on the daily, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to delete some stuff because we can't scribble, right? Now,
it's okay.
We are on the daily like this. And we said that we're expecting this resistance to break, right? So what that means is that, in fact, we can be naughty and look for buy positions. But where we look for them, it also matters. Can you see this level here? Right?
Yeah.
Price was failing. This is actually just a key level, such that if we can zoom in and do this, if we can get a retracement, right, into this level here, I'm okay with pumping buy positions like that. Do you understand? Because I'm expecting the market to go up. That's what my top-down analysis is trying to tell me. Okay. So right now, this can be a setup for you. So you make things neater again, right? Let's just draw a horizontal line here so that we don't forget. Somewhere here, this is my horizontal line, okay? Now let's delete the whole chart, everything. And we are going to say, this is going to be my key point of interest for buys. You see, maybe we could actually get a double top here, right? Price maybe just acts like it wants to break and then it induces people to start buying there because there are people who trade like that. And then actually what will happen is a major collapse of the market into somewhere here. I can foresee that coming from maybe this level here, somewhere around here. You can get that we get a dip into here and then we come down. But it's here where I want to really look for those long-term buy positions just to add on to that movement we expect like that. So the amount of patience that is required for all of this is what people simply don't have, okay? It requires a lot of patience. And even if I'm to now be naughty and use those trend lines again, can you see they still align to most of this stuff? Price is actually obeying this channel here like that. And if we were to get that retracement into this zone, it will still be obeying that channel. You see what I'm saying? All right?
Yeah.
Make the zone a bit more thicker like that. Sure. Now let's zoom in and assess what will be happening here. Another thing that will be happening is if price is to come back where we need it to be here, we need to assess what's happening over here. This is a clear level of support for any amateurs. And if this support breaks, they will sell the market. And when they sell the market, they create the necessary liquidity for the market maker to buy. Remember, I told you, if the market maker wants to buy the market, right, he needs to make sure that there's someone selling. You can't buy something that is not for sale. So in every movement you see, there's need for an opposing movement. So if the market maker wants to sell heavily, he needs to push you to buy. If he wants to buy heavily, he needs to push you to sell. So this is, for me, is an area of liquidation that I would want to mark out and say, okay, let's see what happens here at this low. Price breaks the low. Guess what? Many people start selling, right? Because also they are likely to have a trend line here as well, right? Remember, trend line traders are taught that when the trend line breaks, it's a sell signal. You're just creating liquidity for it. We can discuss these things forever and ever, but I need to warn you, whatever you do, just implement risk management and do top-down analysis that is enjoyable like this, and then your trading will be more fun. Are we together? Okay.
Okay.
So look, we have two more sessions. Don't worry. This top-down we've just done right now is really powerful. What we're going to do is tomorrow we'll even do more, and we'll hammer in on entries. We just roll in a lot of charts and just discuss entries and discuss risk management, discuss how to take a break even, discuss when not to enter even though you've analyzed and thought you should enter, discuss the psychology behind it. Then we'll take it from there. Okay. All right. So there you have it. Clean top-down analysis, clean charts, zero indicators, pure supply and demand, and liquidity market principles. Feel free to contact me for mentorship. Find my contact details in the description of this video. And guess what? Tomorrow is Black Friday, and I'm offering up to 40% discount on my material and trade alerts and setups. Contact me for information on this. Until next time, ciao.